Alrighty then. Now, this is the Toyota bz4X. It's a series of letters and numbers that basically mean a new Toyota model is here. And it's a full EV, and it's Toyota's first EV into the Australian market. Not one that has been met without any controversy, particularly from the EV crowd that wants to, complain that Toyota now has an EV and that they were always anti-EV, and then Toyota gives them an EV and they still want to complain. So it goes to show you can never keep everyone happy. So let's show you this car and why it will probably make you incredibly happy. Styling. Slightly different design on the front of it to its Subaru twin. Single daytime running light, and you have front parking sensors across the front here to make it nice and easy for you to get around and park and adjust as you need. Front camera just down here, that makes it super easy for you to have a 360-degree bird's eye view as you are parking and to make navigating really, really easy. Very clear that it is a Toyota with the Toyota badge, and you still get this split in the bonnet setup in terms of the coloring and just the overall cutout and design. So that is still a carryover as well. Mixed with that is this side cladding as well that gives you this kind of flared look with the aerodynamic intakes just on the sides there as well. So that's what you get from the front of the Toyota. There are a couple of other differences that we'll show you as we move around the car. So without further ado, let's move to under the bonnet. Let me open it up. Now, under the bonnet, you're probably thinking, there's going to be so much space to carry all my groceries in my frunk. But the reality is, there's no frunk and there's no grocery carrying happening under the bonnet. And that is because this is where all the traditional EV and electronics all go in lack of a specifically EV designed platform and system is. So there's no real room to put anything. So that's basically what you get. My one complaint with Toyota, having had many years around the company and at one point having even sold them, is I always used to love pointing out the attention to detail compared to other brands. And that included things like the garnishes over certain parts of the engines and over the motors, plus things like these rubberized points through here. So it is a little bit disappointing that other brands are putting shrouds over the under bonnet area to make it look nice and pretty when you do open the bonnet. Now I understand this is a very nitpicky thing because for most owners, they're never gonna open that under bonnet area. However, it just is a nice thing that would have been nice and clean. So enough about that. That is what it is. Now, let's talk about warranty. So this is one of the important things with the Toyota warranty. It's a 5-year unlimited kilometer warranty on the car, and the servicing side of things is cap price. Over a 5-year period, it's going to cost you around $900. I'll make sure I put the figures into the description of the video, and go to our website for a full description with other information on there when that launches as well. That is roughly on point with what a normal Corolla is going to cost you to service and maintain over 5 years. Some of you will say, well, why do I have to take my car in to get serviced? I don't have to take it, some other EVs out there. The main thing is it's not just about what needs to be fixed on the car. It's actually preventative maintenance for things like, let's say your tires are starting to wear out a little bit too much because you're not inflating them properly, or you maybe are doing too many twists and turns in a certain direction and you need to rotate the tires. The service center can actually get you in, have a look at what needs to be done, make recommendations and get you back out and save you costly maintenance over a longer period of time. That is why you should still service a car. So going in once a year and paying less than the price of servicing a Corolla is not a bad catch. So let's move around to the side. Now, with the bz4X, you only get 2 options in Australia. You get a 2-wheel drive or front-wheel drive version, and you get an all-wheel drive dual motor version. This is the all-wheel drive version that we're testing. It has 20-inch alloy wheels, and it has a BEV badge instead of just a standard EV badge. So if you have compared it to its Subaru twin, you will notice that things like that badge are one of the small changes and noticeable differences on the outside, along with the front change. Wing mirrors, nice and big, very easy to see what you need to, and the 360 cameras are placed underneath on the two wing mirrors, so you're going to have plenty of visibility there. Plus your blind spot monitoring is located on the outer two mirrors, making it very easy once again when changing lanes and making sure that nothing is creeping up in your blind spot. Doors, swipe that will lock the actual door. Put your hand through here and that will unlock the door, making it very easy for you to get in and out. If the key's in your pocket, you don't have to go fiddling for it. You just get in and out very easily. Around to the side, you still have a very nice design. This is the optional two-tone version, so you can have it either in the standard color that matches with certain colors in the range, or you can have a slightly more expensive two-tone roof. I think having it in the black actually makes it look really, really nice. It also comes with a panoramic roof as well. Moving to the side, some more cladding down here. Obviously the wheels carry across and you get the very distinctive rear end of the bz4X. A lot of this has to do with the aerodynamic efficiency and design of the car. And you even have this little ducktail spoiler just here, plus these overhead air diffusers at the top there, making sure that the aerodynamic efficiency is incredibly good so that you can have a fantastic amount of range out of a standard amount of driving. With the back, rear parking sensors are standard, and you also get a camera system that's located just underneath here, and an auto up and down tailgate, making it super easy to get things in and out of the car. But as you can see, it is quite a high opening. So if you are a little bit short or you do have a low clearance roof, maybe in the underground car park where you park at work, you can actually program this to be at the right height. So make sure that you find that video on our channel and actually watch how to program the height of the tailgate in a powered tailgate. And underneath here, you have a slightly different setup to the Subaru. So you have a little bit of additional storage and space just here. Toyota has gone to the extent of providing a branded bag for your charging cable. The twin of this actually uses the third-party branded bag that they source from. They have a home charger or granny charging kit available as well, and storage underneath here where you're going to place all of this as well. So this all here, if you were storing it, you would just neatly tuck it away into this area here, close this up and drop this down. And there's also a first aid kit. So it's nice and neat, everything's out of the way, and it makes it super easy for you to store your charging cables and any other charging apparatus. The great thing with Toyota is that they have actually included the Type 2 to Type 2 cable, so that if you rock up at a shopping center or a car park that offers free, bring your own charging cable charging, usually anywhere from 11 to 22 kilowatt hour charging. You can plug in and top up while you're parked. Cargo blind is nice and neat and very easily accessible, and the back seats are very easy to adjust and to drop. So once I get this headrest down, I'll drop this down and show you just how much space is actually available in the back of the car. So you have plenty of space to go through. So if you're carrying oversized items, or maybe you even want to go camping and have a sleep in the back of your car, you're definitely going to be able to do it in the bz4X. So moving through to the inside of the bz4X, soft touch materials there, soft padding here, lots of piano black, which I'm not a fan of. And look, I kind of wish they would have either made it matte black or just done nothing instead of having this shiny piano black that is glossy and always shows fingerprints, it always shows marks, and inevitably with people that have rings and watches, you end up scratching it as well. So it is a little bit annoying. Auto retracting mirrors, power windows, central locking, all located here. Plus you have the ability to program 2 seat positions for the driver. So if you are sharing the car, you'll have the perfect seating position every time you get back in, as long as you've programmed it. 2 big recesses there to hold your drink bottles. Your auto high beam button is here, and your auto tailgate button is here. Down here is your bonnet release, and over here is the little slot where you can keep things like your parking tickets or any other charge cards that you might have. Steering wheel. It's nice because it is height and reach adjustable. What is less nice is I would have my steering wheel around this height. My seat would normally be a little bit higher. In the bz4X, because it is a rounded steering wheel instead of the squared off version that you get in the Subaru twin of this car, you do lose half of the visibility of the actual digital display behind you. So what you would need to do is you actually need to drop it to about here in order to get visibility of that digital display, which then means that this is actually not in the position that you would be comfortable in if that's how you set up. So for me, I found this a little bit annoying and a little bit disappointing that such easy oversight into something that is quite a crucial element could have been done. Probably would have been nicer to actually just have a heads-up display instead of that digital display there, in truth be told. Now, the audio system is a premium JBL surround system in this model compared to the Harman Kardon system in the Subarus. And you also have this nice kind of material that's recycled lining all of the dash. It gives it a nice different change to just the traditional padded synthetic leathers or padded foam that you get on most dashes. And that will actually do a pretty decent job at reflecting some of the sunlight that comes through the window as well. So they've done a good job there. Aircon vents are exactly how you would expect a Toyota to have them. Ones that literally get your face cold and get you to position the air exactly where you want it to go. Lane departure alert and active cruise control are standard, and all those controls are just here. Your phone, Siri, and volume control buttons and voice command buttons are all on the left-hand side. And outside of that, this little slit here is your driver attention warning. This will get at you if you aren't watching the road, if your eyes are darting to your phone down to here, maybe looking out the window too much, you will get a little bit of a friendly reminder to keep your eyes on the road. One thing that doesn't come with this model that comes in the Subaru Twin is the full display digital rear vision mirror. This just has a standard rear vision mirror. So that is one big difference there. But in lieu of that, in the Australian summer when it does get hot, you will have ventilated and air-conditioned seats as well. So the ventilated seats are going to be a godsend in summer, and the heated seats, absolutely brilliant in colder climates in winter. Now, enough about this section. Come around and let me show you the center area of the bz4X. Now, in the center here, you have a big digital display, which is relatively responsive and is actually pretty modern for Toyota standards compared to some other cars in the range. And I actually quite like it because it is very responsive when you have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto plugged in. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are both wireless on here. So that's a absolute brilliant design in that as well. And as you can see, it's pretty smooth to move things around, to enter addresses, to change between the different sources. You're gonna be able to do that with ease just there. Down here, you have these haptic buttons that will do your fan speed for your ventilated seats or for your heated seats. You also have a auto heating steering wheel. And the great thing is that they've kept these buttons here, which are actual proper flicks, like flick switches or flick buttons, and they will change your temperature or your fan speed or the position and direction of where that's going. So it's been brilliant that they kept those, plus a physical button for the volume and also to turn that screen off. So that's a great thing there. Aircon vents, as mentioned, really good positioning. This gear selector is a little bit awkward. So in a normal car, you would push it, you would twist it left or you'd twist it right, and that would get you into the gears that you're going. And then you would push it down and that would get it into park. In this one, it's a little bit different, but I actually quite like the reasoning behind it, right? So you push this top button here and that will set it back into the park position of the gear selector. But to get it into neutral, drive, or reverse, you have to push the actual ring down. And then from there, you have to twist it left or right to do what you need to do. The reason I actually quite like that is for a lot of people, you can accidentally nudge the normal dials into the wrong position. And I have done so in a couple of cars with just purely testing while parked, just to see if you could easily move it out of position. So I do get why they've gone for one where you have to physically push it and move it to get it to go into a different gear. You have a camera view button here, your driving modes, which will be eco mode, and you also have your all-wheel drive or terrain modes as well. Pressing these will change exactly what you need to go through at the top there. And the other cool thing as well is down here you have your one pedal driving on the right hand side. Now the bz4X doesn't have one pedal driving in the way that other EVs have it, so it won't bring it to a full stop just by feathering the accelerator. It has what is called the regenerative braking button or mode, and you push that there, and what it will do, it will help you capture and regenerate more of that lost electricity or energy as you come to a stop, but you will still need to use the brake to bring the car to a complete stop. There's no flappy paddle controls in this car like there is in the Subaru Twin that would actually help bring that to a stop either. This has just a standard steering wheel. So that is a difference in the mode. You also have a auto hold button and an electronic park brake just on the right hand side. This cover here is a little bit see-through, and that's where your phone wireless charging sits. So you just put your phone there and it will start wireless charging, providing it's the right size. There is a data port in there which will allow you to plug in your phone if you want to just use the plugged wired connection versus wireless CarPlay or Android Auto, in which case it would then become a bit of an issue that this cover doesn't actually close over that cable. That being said, however, it is wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, so use a device and just use the wireless system instead. Cup holders are nice and deep and are actually really well supported for most Australian cups. So whether you're having coffees or whether you're having big drinks from McDonald's, they're not going to move around and roll out of place. And if you're using one of those big, ugly drinking cups, you will definitely be able to fit that into here, although you may need other counseling to help you stop using those cups. Outside of that, lots of storage and really easy to access that in here. There is this that pulls out from here, and down here you get a little bit of additional storage. It's also where your owner's manual goes because there's no actual glove box underneath here as well. So there's a little bit of a different one for you. Underneath here you have this winged area that lets you store whatever you need and has some USB-C and 12-volt charging outlets down here as well. This is perfect if you have a wallet, maybe your handbag, or anything else on the go. You can place that under there. The seats are a premium seat material, and it's very comfortable and well bolstered, and it's also perforated as well. So very, very nice, and work really nicely with the heated and ventilated system that the front two seats do have. Let's move to the back of the car and have a look at what you get in the back. So as you can see, seating in the back of the bz4X is actually pretty spacious. And if you've watched a video from us on any of the other twins of this car, you're probably even going, is he even in the bz4X? And yes, I am. And the way that you can tell is that there's no heated seats controls on here, and these two outer seats are not actually heated. So the one thing that the bz4X misses out on that the Subaru Solterra touring model gets is those heated seats for the back. You do still get fast charging for the USB-C outlets, and you still have your air conditioning vents down here. With this position here, if there's only two of you in the back, you're going to have an armrest, some cup holders, a little bit of storage here for your chippies or for your phones. And it's actually quite a nice relaxing position. You can look up through the massive panoramic roof to have a look outside. And just overall, it's actually a very comfortable place to be in the back of this car. So really impressed with the bz4X for that side of things. If you're a parent, you're probably wondering, can I put my baby seats in the back and will I bump into them? Well, the back seat storage here is actually very generous and very big. So you could potentially actually have one of the bigger back seat spaces of a lot of cars in its category. You do have the ISOFIX ports down the bottom here, and if you drop these seats down, you actually have the top tether points directly behind each of these seats on the 3 rows. So you have 2 ISOFIX points on the outer 2 seats, and then the top tether points just on the back. So you don't lose any of the boot space. You can still use all of your boot space for strollers, prams, shopping, whatever, but you can still have 3 of your kids come on the journey with you. So there you have it, guys. That's what I think of the bz4X. Let me know in the comments section if I've got it wrong or if I've got it right. For a car that can do 414 kilometers in WLTP testing environments, the car's actually been pretty spot on. So, you know, The estimated range is going to be about 400 kilometers. I haven't done a full charge yet, so I'll update these notes once I have done a full charge, and we'll do another video talking about the charging range and the actual user range of this vehicle. In the Australian market, it has actually been tweaked, and I think it's actually pretty spot on to that 400 kilometer mark, give or take. So it puts it in line with something like the Tesla Model 3 for the 2021 to 2023/4 models. It puts it in line with a number of other cars that are sitting at around 400 to 450 kilometers of WLTP range. One of the things I have noticed is that it's actually pretty accurate, even running things like the air conditioning, the ventilated seats. It's decreasing at an accurate rate based on how much the odometer is actually increasing. So it'll be very good to test that. I will try to request from Toyota if we can actually borrow this car at another time for a bit longer, because I do want to do a long road trip test with it to actually see on a long trip, particularly highway driving, whether we would actually lose out on some of that claimed range. So stay tuned for that video as well. In the meantime, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And if you think there's anything we could have done better, let us know as well. We'd always love to improve to make sure that this channel is built for you and by you and by us as well. So until next time, thank you so much.